Hi everyone, are you ready for today's road trip adventure? Here you can see on the map that we are roughly in the center of North America. We are beginning our day in the northern part of the state North Dakota, beginning in Park River, up to Grafton and Hoople. We will be crossing from the United States into Canada at the Winkler Crossing, checking out some engines in Manitou and the dinosaur fossils of Morden. We will continue west to Boissevain to see a giant talking turtle, and Melita to see a huge banana. Continuing west and crossing into Saskatchewan, we will be visiting Tyvan, Tribune, Tyvan, Odessa, and ending our day in Whitewood. So here we are in Grafton, North Dakota, and we are looking for the Dakota Northern Railroad. We found these two engines that are maroon and yellow, labeled Independent Locomotive Service, number 1392 and 1355. Without crossing the tracks or trespassing onto the property, the early morning light made photographing the engines difficult. Eesh, that light is bright in our eyes. I'm sorry about that. Oh, could I ask a favor? If you haven't already, could you please click the like for this video? Thanks! We passed through Hoople. No trains, just this nice mural. So we're driving north, and this is what driving north in North Dakota looks like. Then we see on the map that we're almost to the US-Canadian border, represented by this purple line. So where I'm from, there are 4 international border crossings within a 20-minute drive, and each one of these crossings is a bridge going over a river. Naive as it may seem, to me, crossing the border always involved a bridge crossing. Here's an example. This is the Queenston-Lewiston Bridge. You can see lots of truck traffic, overhead signage telling you which lane you should be in, multiple lanes, division between commercial traffic and passenger traffic. This is what I'm used to in an international border crossing. This, to me, is what a border crossing looks like. So it was a bit of a surprise to me to experience a prairie border crossing. A few signs, a few traffic cones, but very open. A single lane, no commercial traffic in sight, a single building for the border services to operate from. Quite different from what I'm used to. All right, we've been through customs and now we are in Canada. Well, this is driving north through southern Manitoba.
Manitoba, you're my heaven, because it's heaven where the prairie crocus grows.
But I know that this is Manitoba, because on the store shelves they have honey dill sauce. A dipping sauce not found almost anywhere else but in Manitoba. We are driving along and we get to Manitou, and hey, what's that? Oh gosh, those are some nice looking engines. Hey, we've just arrived in Manitou, Manitoba. Oh, look what's trackside. Look at this gorgeous, gorgeous paint. What a treat to see something different, but also such a nice paint job. Not faded, not rusted, clean, bright, bold colors. I love it. The green engine, number 4625, is Boundary Trail Railway, a Canadian company, and the blue engine is number 7278, Northern Plains Rail Services, an American company, and they work together to get the job done, like good neighbors should. Then we saw this caboose sitting out, and I'm looking at the number on the side, DH35719, and that seems like an awfully familiar number. And yes, this appears to be the same caboose that used to operate on the Delaware and Hudson Railroad in New York State. Here's a photograph of it from 1981 in Oneonta. That's funny to see it way out here. So then we drive down the road just a little bit further, and hey, what's that on the right? That looks like an old station. It is an old station. But this never used to be located here. This was the La Riviere CP station house that was built in 1898. When the railroad left the area, the building had been used for a museum for over 30 years, and when the museum closed, a local conservation group started a relocation process to have the building moved about 11.5 kilometers east down the road to nearby Manitou. Boy, that would have been something to witness. It's not every day you see a 125-year-old railway station traveling down the highway. That evening, we ended up in Morden. Morden is a paleontological site, and they have a great museum. I enjoyed that in several spots around town, they have large roadside attractions of the life-size creatures, such as Bruce and the giant turtle, and this frightening fellow. This statue being built so that you can actually climb up and take a photo op inside his mouth. So not so much trackside action today, but still a great drive and beautiful countryside. The next morning, we drove about 2 hours east to Boissevain, Manitoba, and although we did go to check out the tracks, of course, the main attraction in town for us was of Tommy, the world's largest painted turtle. Tommy is 28 feet tall and 51 years old. Being only a 20-minute drive from the United States-Canadian border, he holds a Canadian flag in one hand and an American flag in the other, to represent the goodwill between close neighbors. Tommy the Turtle was constructed to advertise the Canadian Turtle Derby races, which ran for more than 30 years. They don't race turtles in Boissevain anymore. However, this gigantic turtle statue does talk when you press the button.
My name is Tommy Turtle, and I am the biggest western painted turtle in the world. I am proud to hold the Canadian flag in one hand and the American flag in the other.
Visiting Tommy the Turtle was great. But this wasn't the only large roadside attraction that we got to see today. We drove another hour west and were in Melita, Manitoba, the banana belt of Manitoba, as symbolized by this gigantic 30-foot-tall banana. He also has a little blue jay on his hand, as this region is an important birding area. Keep on driving west and we enter the province of Saskatchewan. How do you know that you're in Saskatchewan? Well, you start seeing these gorgeous wooden grain elevators. Although grain elevators do not necessarily have to be indicative of the Saskatchewan area, they are known as being the skyscraper of the prairies and a symbol of the region's agricultural strength. Another way to know that you're in Saskatchewan are all the pickles. Oh, sure, you can find pickles anywhere, but people in Saskatchewan really love their pickles. There's pickle chips, pickle beer, even pickle vodka. It's a pickle lover's paradise. Disappointing to admit, although we tried, we never did catch any railroad activity today. Oh, we saw some cool things, though, including this collection of old trucks in Hirsch. Are they going to be restored? Is this a scrapyard? Are they using this as a makeshift fence for their property? I don't know, but it was really neat to see. Okay, day 3. I have a good feeling about today. I think we're going to find some trains today. Well, this doesn't exactly count, but this carved tree in Estevan features a train winding its way around the trunk, which is really cool. I love folk art. We're looking for the short line called Long Creek Railroad, which was formed in 2012. Their headquarters are in Estevan, and the end of the line is in Tribune. So we start in Estevan, and we drive for over an hour following the tracks, and when we get to Tribune, nothing. Nothing as far as the eyes can see. Well, that is a shame. Not much more we can do but continue moving on. So another hour's drive north to Highway 33, and oh my, do you see what I see? It's a train, it's a short line, it's moving, and we've caught it. I'm happy. He said hello. That's nice of him. All right, go for it. Let's go catch him. Woohoo! Finally, after 2.5 days of seeing no trains, nothing moving at all, look what we've got coming down the line. It's Stuart Southern. Although I would have liked it better had it been one of the engines that was painted in the Stuart Southern Railway paint, such as this one that we caught in September of 2020. We end our day with this nicely painted grain car in Odessa with an elevator in the background. We are almost smack dab in the middle of the continent. I think our luck's only going to get better from here. Like this and want to see more? Subscribe to this channel and you'll get to see all the latest videos. Don't forget to push like and share. Thank you so much.